I was completely wrong about self-esteem. Now, when you talk about self-esteem and when we say somebody has a high self-esteem and believes in themselves a lot, what we oftentimes is we come to think about a person who thinks they are capable of doing anything. And there is where the problem begins. Because frankly, it's quite the opposite. Now, when you say somebody isn't enough, or I'm not good enough, I'm not capable of doing something, when you say such a statement, you usually come from a position where you believe to be capable of something. Now, what does this mean? Now, let's say you have a high standard where you say, okay, I have to perform in such a way, I have to run this fast, I have to write this grade. Let's say your standard is to always write an A grade, but you tend to get a B grade. From the perspective of your standard, what you will perceive yourself, this would be as not good enough because your standard is so high. Because you believe in yourself so much, every time when you don't hit your high standard, you will begin to feel miserable about yourself, that you are in this sense not good enough. Or in other words, you'll begin to experience self-esteem issues. But if high standards are the problem, wouldn't it be the solution to just set lower standards? Wouldn't it? It's wrong. The reason why so many people have such a high standard on themselves is that they want to avoid a situation or experience where they perform low. Because when they perform low, they experience shame. Or they feel very unpleasant, very anxious, very uncomfortable in the very situation. To feel like that makes them feel like crap. And if they feel like crap, they think low about themselves. Now here's the irony. Trying to work on your self-esteem makes actually the problem way worse, because you're trying to avoid the very identity of being low or being horrible. But what we are avoiding here is not a situation where we think low about ourselves. It's the meaning of thinking low over ourselves that we want to avoid. In this sense, when you did something wrong, you think yourself as a person who did something wrong. You take it personal. Now, to have good sense of self-esteem wouldn't mean to try to get rid of the situation or just talk yourself out of a situation just so you don't feel bad about yourself so you can maintain your high self-esteem. Good self-esteem is about learning to be wrong when you are actually wrong. To know that you did something bad when you performed it really bad, and to still be alright with it. But in order to be alright with it, we have to accept it. That at times, sometimes we are just a piece of crap. Sometimes we may fail at whatever things we tend to do. Now, to point it out again, what's painful is not the identity. What's painful is the emotion we have connected to it. And so every time you begin to feel uncomfortable, oh no, I don't perform good enough. Oh no, my grade is not good enough. Oh no, not enough people have seen my video. It's alright. Think about how it makes you feel. Is it anxiety? Is it fear? Is it anger? Is it guilt? Is it shame? Perhaps it's also a combination of all of those emotions. Now, this may sound like a horrible experience to be in, but if you don't try to avoid it, if you don't try to exercise it out or try any kind of self-help practice that tries to get you out of this experience, and you just embrace the moment where you are a piece of crap, and you don't think you're good enough, and you are right with yourself for being a piece of crap, that's how you develop self-esteem. Thanks for listening.